G'day everyone, Artist Wayne and Jacqui here, and after 7 glorious days spent here in the wild end of the Flinders Ranges, today we were leaving the Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary. We spent every day exploring this beautiful and rugged landscape, including an unforgettable stargazing night. But now it was time to set our sights on new horizons. Today we are leaving Arkaroola after a magic stay. It's been fantastic, a fantastic 7 days, and we are now heading to Blinman. At over 160 kilometres away, today would be a big drive for Jacqui and I. But when are we ever in a hurry? I think this drive through some stunning scenery would take us about 3.5 hours, especially seeing as at one point we took a wrong turn. But it wouldn't be a bad thing getting lost out here. Today was absolutely beautiful. And considering the day we arrived in Arkaroola was drizzly and overcast, it was great to be travelling on a clear and sunny day once again. We took a wrong turn, but we're back on track. Now we had almost arrived in Blinman, home to the North Blinman Hotel, the Wadna Adamadja Art Gallery, and the Blinman Heritage Mine. Blinman is also nice and close to the beautiful Glass Gorge and Arkaroola Gorge, the place we camped in when dining in the famous Prairie Hotel and visiting the Ediacara fossil beds. As for where we were staying, well, Jacqui and I had no idea, so we pulled into the Blinman Hotel where we could decide on our accommodation options over lunch. However, there was trouble a-brewing on the horizon, because it was only today that Jacqui and I were talking about how well the caravan and ram were going. We must have jinxed ourselves, because after an enjoyable lunch, we jumped back in the ram only to find the media screen no longer working. Oh well, that was a problem for tomorrow, because now we needed to set up our camp at the eco camping park called Onya. We're just checking out the sites. We'll be out in the open, maybe over there, toilet's close. Over there, toilet's close. There's already someone here. We don't like to be near anyone. I don't really like people that much when we camp. It's because Jacqui wants me all to herself. Well, today is a hive of activity. Yesterday our RAM media screen stopped working, so I've just been pulling everything out and seeing if we can track down the problem. Jacqui's been ringing a few people, but we haven't been able to work it out. We're camping here at Blinman, topping our drinking water up. We've got a jerry can of fuel, so we'll fuel the ram up whilst we're here. I think we can get fuel about 20 minutes away, so we'll do a bit of exploring today. There's a mine tour we can do. Sounds like we can do a good push bike ride. So we'll be here for a few days. And hopefully we can fix the bloody ram.
Does it work?
Yes, we have media back. Yoo!
Yoo!
Well, there you go. According to the folks at McCarroll's Ram in Newcastle, all we needed to do was disconnect the battery. Well, we did a lot of work this morning, and one of our major jobs was to fix the ram, because the media display wasn't working. And now that it's working, it's changed colour, and now it's Ram Van Man Blue. It was red, but it's way better in our Ram Van Man Blue colour. How good is that? And we are now on Glass Gorge. Beautiful scenic drive. We're all fueled up and ready for the day. Yoo-hoo! The scenic Glass Gorge is a stunning route to drive. It runs off and parallel to Arkaroola Gorge. and they both meet at either end of Blinman. In fact, the line running through Arkaroola Gorge and Blinman is the dividing point that defines the South and North Flinders Ranges. Once Jacqui and I returned to the town of Blinman, it was time to book our Heritage Mine tour. An underground experience offering a unique journey into the heart of an historic copper mine. And we made sure we booked a tour with our mate Mike. You see, Mike owns and runs the Onya Eco Camping Park where Jacqui and I were staying. Mike's a great bloke with a fantastic sense of humour, so naturally we were keen to tag along on his tour. And seeing as Jacqui and I love old historic cemeteries so much, we stopped off at the dead centre of town where I found one of my all-time favourite graves. G'day everyone. Artist Wayne here, Ram Van Man, and I have finally found one of my most favourite graves because we love these historic graves. Get a load of this. It's Richard Roberts, also known as Donkey Dick. Here in the Flinders Ranges, South Australia, camping in the beautiful town of Blinman, the nights and mornings were becoming freezing cold. Jacqui and I were definitely giving our diesel heater a workout now, and it was only going to get colder. However, the days were absolutely spectacular. Another beautiful day here in the Flinders Ranges. Absolutely cracker day. And we're walking to the top of a massive hill to check out the cairn. And a cairn is those piles of rocks that people make. And they're bloody everywhere. So, see you at the top. Let's look at the rock, it's all just come out in big sheets. And you can see goats or wallabies have been using it as a shelter. Using all of them as a shelter. And another one, all their scat. Up this way, love. We might find a thylacine. You just never know. I was actually talking to a couple from Tasmania yesterday at the historic grave here in Blinman. He had a little tiger story for me because he'd met somebody who lives on the mainland, but he goes to Tasmania every year to hunt the thylacine, and he finds the footprints everywhere. What? That's just Jacqui talking over me. The cairn. This is a fun walk and a great way to start the day. And although it isn't Mike's place, the owner doesn't mind at all. There's also a camel farm nearby, so you may even be lucky enough to see the camels out for a walk. And when Jacqui and I returned to camp after our walk, it was time to head into town because we had a mine to explore. But before we did, we grabbed the special key at the information centre, which opens the old hut across the road. In here you could go back in time to see how people lived in the good old days.
Come on through.
Thank you, man. Here's the kitchen. Wow, look at that, love. Games they played back in the old days. Welcome to the Heritage Blinman Mine with our tour operator, Mike.
Guys, we have a population in town, I reckon pretty well up to about 29 at the moment.
Not only does Blinman have a huge population, but they have this fantastic Blinman Mine tour. The Blinman Mine, or Wheel Blinman, as it was called in 1862, was a working copper mine between the years of 1862 and 1907. Mining and the history and development of South Australia are closely connected. This is more so the case in relation to the development of townships in the Flinders Ranges. Blinman being one of these towns.
Folks, look straight across the other side and up and you'll see a little green bush growing in front of a hole. That's our first layer of tunnels. I'll get a little more into that a little later.
History, heritage, culture and values are inextricably linked. Without the working minds of the past and the desires of those people in the 19th century who struggled to make a living through minerals in this region, the heritage, culture, values and the lives of those that live here would be vastly different.
Now folks, what we're standing underneath now is another shaft. Now, who can tell me who it was that invented the cordless drill? And I don't want to hear Makita Ryotes, these are the Milwaukee singer. A lady the other day barked out Bunnings. What do you think of that? He had a couple of offsiders with him, with whom he trusted with his life. And they were carrying these things. It's called hammer and tap, or tap and twist. Well, that driller held that drill there. These two have taken in turns of belting the end of that drill, by candlelight. They've been doing that to a bit of a rhythm. Something like... Every time they hit that drill, the driller would give it a quarter of a turn. They'd keep doing that till that drill went about a foot or so into that rock. They'd then repeat it 2 more times, creating 3 holes in a bit of a smiley face pattern. Then off they'd go. Now the next family member to arrive, he had a bit of an interesting job. He was known as a powder monkey. He came armed with one of these. You can shine your torches on that. That's called a powder spoon. He also carried a pouch of black gunpowder. He'd simply fill that spoon with the powder, put it to the back of the holes, tip it out, flip it round, use the other end, ram that powder in nice and tight. The more compact you made that powder, the better you blast. Now once you had the powder packed into the holes, of course, then you need fuses. This is a typical fuse of a day, gunpowder wrapped in paper. And I do certainly hope it was a little longer than that. But anyway, guys, in order to produce those fuses, the powder monkey had 2 other items on his belt. One of which was a board. On that board, he'd simply lay a piece of paper, get his spoon, scoop it up with powder, run a line of powder along that paper, bit of spit, roll them up, you got a fuse. You'd make 3 of those, pack them into the holes using wadding. The wadding could be paper, cloth, anything you get your hands on, and the fun begins. The powder monkey would reach into his pocket, pull out a tin of matches, light those fuses. What do you think he'd do then?
Run.
Let's study that theory for a moment. What happens when you run with a candle?
Yes, indeed. If you start running with a candle, the bloody thing would go out and you'd fall down a bottomless mine shaft and die. As we delve deeper into the bowels of the earth, I couldn't help but think of how hard life must have been back then. Life in the mine started at the ripe old age of 14 years old. After our journey to the centre of the earth, we made it back up to the surface, where Jackie and I continued our mining tour on our own. Jackie and I were treated to an innovative sound and lighting show, which along with our experienced tour guide Mike, transported us back in time to the lives of the miners and their families during the second half of the 19th century. This mine tour makes a visit to Blinman a must. That afternoon, before getting dinner sorted, I had Jackie give the back of the ram a long overdue clean out.
Here, get into it with that broom, love. Get a lot of dust in here.
Another top day here in the Flinders Ranges, South Australia.
Last day in beautiful Blindman, and it's another cracker day. And today we are leaving and heading to Wilpena Pound. It's only a 60 kilometre drive, so we've had our game of rummy where I won, and now we're doing our morning walk up to the can, or should I say cans, and then we'll finish packing up and leave. Terrific time. Here we are at another can in the beautiful Flinders Ranges. Yeah. Can and the camels. When we head down, we might be able to say hello to the camels.
These camels, which were out for their morning exercise, are from the Flinders and beyond camel treks. They do walking treks from 3 days to 3 weeks and can take you beyond Hayson, Lake Torrens and Lake Frome with their tailor-made tracks for school groups, artists, bird enthusiasts, photographers, bushwalkers and naturalists. Something that Jacqui and I will definitely need to do next time we visit. And before leaving Blinman, we had to check out the Wadner Gallery for their handcrafted Adamatya artefacts and paintings. And they also do Adamatya culture tours as well. Here you'll find something for everyone. This is where I fell in love with the 100-year-old wood sculptures of shingleback lizards. Upon our return, we packed up because it was time to leave wonderful Blinman. Jacqui and I were now heading to Wilpena Pound for the next week, so I guess there's nothing left to do but give our stay in Blinman a score. How did you find Blinman, Jacqui?
Well, I just loved Blinman. It's a fantastic location. There's a lot to do, there's a lot to see. And when you do go to Blinman, drop by and say hi to Mike at Onya Eco Camping.
And when in Blinman, you must do their mine tour because it's absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to go back to do the camel trek. Yeah. So until next time, I'm Artist Wayne Jacqui.
And I'm Jacqui. Take care and safe travels.
See ya.
Bye.